Hello folks, brew here. Today I want to share with you some updates on the funny brew I'm working on. So after Proter I looked for a bunch of deck lists and I thought like, well, if not test, then what I would like to play. And one of the backups was Blue-White Spirits, and then I looked at a bunch of interesting deck lists from the Proter that involved a bunch of those Blue-White Flash decks that are basically a modification of Spirits and make them a bit more mid-rangey, more meaty, beefy, let's just put it this way, with Gideon and Copters. And yeah, like very good deck, but I'll probably come back to it, but I don't have any real big tournaments on the horizon to, push it to the extremes in terms of just efficiency and reliability. So I still want to have some fun for star play for those local events. And I've played tested with this deck a bit, with very dirtly value versions. You can check those up on the channel. There are a couple of matches with these decks, and then I figured out that after Pro Tour and including some tests in the first afternoon with the deck, I wanted to change the deck so that it actually can be fast enough. So the first thing I did was to actually remove all the man lands because the deck had way too many tap lands. Right now it still has some, and you can reduce that number by playing just more fast lands. So solitaring this out actually looks like I can curve out in relatively timely fashion. And then in terms of creatures, I just went all in. So I had a bunch of very good value creatures, good targets for the tutors, but then realized that like against aggro, if I try to durdle, it's too slow. Against decks that can, control my board with removals and stuff. So yeah, maybe trying to grind them out could be good, but then again, with the new tutor package, I can actually just return back the threats and try to go off again. This just gives the deck a bunch of free wins, and that makes it way more consistent. So just 4 of everything that actually does things and matters. Max and combo, just 4 tries in terms of 1-drops, no durdles. Not many durdles, and 2 or 3, just the essentials. And then basically Gearsmith as a fine target for evolution to either 2-drop and get it and return something back. So it's like tutorable, Eternal Witness / 5th grapple, so to speak. And it can give you some selection as well, just what to return. It's alright, it's a filler, but it glues things together. I would probably play something else if not for evolution, I think. So we have 3 evolutions, but then again, we have just everything to dig. 4 traverse, 4 grapple, and a couple of vessels. So basically because of vessel and then grapple, you can make sure that you hit enough of card types for delirium for traverse. So you're pretty much gonna hit a land, because apart from traverse you have like grapple and vessel that's probably gonna throw some land into the bin, and then you will have a creature for sure, and then with 7 sorceries like very likely to hit the bin, and then with the grapple you have instant, and then traverse actually is online and fetches anything. And even if it's not online really, hitting a basic is actually relevant. Make sure that you hit your land drops. Kind of accelerates you in a way. Not exactly, but I made a huge decision by cutting Cryptolith, right? Because just all my stuff just kept on dying, and I didn't want to have a dead card. I would rather in those cases just have like a grapple, or I don't know, like a vassal to dig for stuff. So all my stuff kept on dying, and last season when such a deck was actually alright, it was common to take out rights against control decks because, well, you don't have enough, gonna have enough time. And now Even the aggro deck's gonna have a lot of removal, so right actually doesn't seem to be great anymore. And then I have a very you know, square-ish kinda sideboards that I think I could see some revision, but this is just the essentials. So I had a bunch of like value cards here as well, but then I figured I might as well just go like maxing on everything that I actually like and everything that can solve the problems. With this kind of configuration that is going a lot on combo and actually has recursion with the grapple and have a bunch of tutors, so that can sometimes you can, you know, tutor up like couple combo pieces and play them in the same turn and win like that. Assuming it seems alright. So it's not amazing, but the point is that it still sweeps the boards and you still gain life. And then if you board in spirits, if it's matchup where you need to block flyers, then things become kinda cute. But most of the time you're not gonna have both of them in your deck after sideboarding. So spirits are against the decks with fumigates, and fumigates are against the decks that just can overrun you way too quickly before you can assemble anything. Same kind of thing for Talia. So I thought about playing a bunch of removal spells, but I didn't like that in my test, so it didn't actually help a whole lot, not for my deck. And then it's a creature I can tutor up for, I can block with, and etc., and hold off the ground sometimes. And it's not just that it holds off the vehicles like the hasty dudes, and it prevents them from blocking sometimes if I can actually try to be aggressive. But the big part is about the non-basics. So even against Marvel decks, I'm likely to side this in because they do run some non-basics. And just trying to slow them down one turn can actually be enough for me to go off, because I'm not just a creature deck, I'm a combo deck. And then Valid just to prolong my life in the crucial moments, and I can tutor this up or bring this back and then flicker it with the displacer, then it becomes really ugly. So I'm making just a catch on all card, and yeah, if zombies or some graveyard decks can become like annoying, then I could see like playing one of Calatus here, but right now I don't really see the need, especially with fumigates, so all I need is just to buy some time. And on these last three cards, Mind Behander, Peak, Lost. So Peak is fun because switching on Delirium is not that hard, and then it can still like eat the card from their hand. This Bender, well, it's something to tutor up for with the Traverse, for example, and it takes out two cards like a removal and a sweeper if you get lucky, and if they tap out, something like that. It's just okay, and then we have 3 drops to make it actually cheap, and then super cheap if we want to eat the Brood Monitor. Lost Legacy is kind of tricky. The thing is that it's non-artifact, no land, so you can't take Marvel away, but then you can take off Emrakul. If they Marvel into Ulamog, it's actually fine. You're not like that dead, basically, because you don't have many flyers, but you can jump block ground guys for some time. Because like in 2 attacks of Ulamog, you're probably dead, but you're not dead to 1 attack. And the trick about Emrakul is that it just messes up everything for you. So that's the thing. So you can play like Traverse, I mean not Traverse, the Transgress Might, but you can transgress top deck Marvel, for example, and then against Sweepers and Control you still have stuff like Talia, Spirit. That could be enough. You can probably board in the Mindbender, and I don't know, maybe there is a justification to board and pick and Lost Legacy against some control decks, especially the ones that we saw in the finals of the Pro Tour, because they're actually quite light on threats, and if you manage to take off the blue Helks with these out of their deck, they have actually very few ways to close out the game, so then you can just think like, okay, even if you're very 5 far away on cards, so if they have like but huge hands and just you feel like they eventually will overcome you, if you resolve one of those, then there is a good chance that they will just run out of ways to actually win the game, and then eventually you can maybe assemble the combo, just attack with creatures and finish them off with this way. So this is what I think is the direction for the deck right now. I might be wrong, but the data I've gathered and the practice I had kind of supports this, so you can of course like improve the mana base. So this is fine for now. So Hub and Abby actually help you with the colorless source for the displacer, but then again, you don't actually need colorless lands to make the combo work unless you know you're yeah, have only like 2 signs in play or stuff like this, like I mean short on mana. So to combo off, you don't really need the lands that much, and then you still have Sifter and like extra monitors, stuff like this. So not very interactive main deck, but then again, you still have creatures to block with, you can still, like, you know, train them to stay afloat, you can still use the displacer to tap some attackers, things like that, flicker your monitors or sifters without cutthroat just to have more chump blockers, things like that. Then it's fine to trade with Recruiter because you can often bring it back with the grapple, so you have many tutors. And then if you feel like you need some interaction plus sideboard, well, you have it. So you have sweepers and some discard and some removal, so yeah, there are things. And then, well, okay, chained spell quellers could be annoying, but then again, it's not the end of the world. And then yeah, you have multiple copies of everything and so on. So this is a very fun deck. I actually like it way more than kinda budgety blue-white flash deck I have at the moment. And for small local play, I would rather play this than Blue-White Flash, even though it's a much better tournament deck, I mean, for bigger scene. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, check out the channel and the social links. So until the next sale, goodbye folks.